Well, I was born down in the Southland 20-some odd years ago. I ran away for the first time when I was only 4 years old. I'm a freeborn man.
I'm Stephen Northcutt, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to get the footers in for the rest of the house. This is the garage area here, and then we're going to have a porch on the back and a couple bedrooms, and then the master bedroom on that end. So we got to finish getting that all done. So Jason's getting this all dug out, and then we'll get it poured. Okay, so they're getting the concrete poured now. Concrete showed up about an hour and a half early, so we missed a little bit of it. But we're on the second truck now. It'll probably take 4 trucks. I figured it about 40 yards. I don't know what Jason figured it at, but we'll see where it comes out to. We're getting all the concrete done today. I don't know if he'll do the, I don't know if he'll scoop the crawl out tomorrow or if he'll wait till Monday. And then the block layers will come next week. I'll get it pinned next week, and then they'll start laying block. Okay, so here the code is 2 pieces of rebar, and on the corners they got to overlap. Some places require them to bend the corners, but the inspector actually mentioned that, but he was okay with them as long as they tied them together. And then these stakes here, they're driven down to grade, so all they got to do when they're pouring is they just make sure that they're even with the top of these guys here. And then they know they're good. In some places they just use their laser, but it's easier to just kind of do that. And then they go around and they paint where they're at. That way when they're dragging, they don't actually drag it over. When you're dragging that concrete, you can hang it and bend it over, and then you're kind of off a little bit. So we're actually 48 inches down from the top of the basement wall to the bottom of the footer. Footer will be about 8 inches thick. Block will be, I'm gonna do 5 block high, so that'll be 40 inches. So this block will all be laid up to the same height as the foundation wall. And then our floor trusses, they're actually gonna be 24 inches tall. So they're pretty tall. So we're gonna have quite a bit of, I'm gonna be out of the ground, from this point here, I'm gonna be 6 foot out of the ground to the top of the floor. So a lot of this dirt's gonna get burned up, backfilling around the house. So I got a hole over here that's going to be where the fireplace is going to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 100% masonry fireplace all the way up, but I want to go ahead and do the concrete, do the fittings for it just in case I wanted to. And then I did another spot over there where we're going to have the big tub in the bathroom. I wasn't real sure about the weight of it, so I went ahead and just poured some concrete over there. So I kind of went a little overkill on some of it, but I'd rather have it there and not need it than have to put it in later or have a bouncy floor. So I'm doing my best not to have bouncy floors on this. That's why I went with 24-inch deep floor trusses. That way you get a lot of strength out of them. I wanted to span the whole basement without having to have load-bearing walls in the middle, and so that's why I went with the bigger trusses. So once he gets this poured, he'll go through and he'll scoop out the crawl space even with the top of the at this level here. So all that dirt will come out, and then we'll use that for what, and that'll all be topsoil. So we'll probably shove that out of the way, get some of this other dirt, kind of build it up a little bit, and then put the topsoil on top. I don't have to do it that way, but if I use this on top, then later I'll have to put topsoil on top of it. I'll have to go buy some later, so it'd be better to just shove this stuff out of the way. I gotta find that balance between, is it worth taking extra time to shove it out of the way, or just get some more loads in here. So I guess we'll kind of make that decision as we go. So that's what we got going today.
Well, I'm a lone old cowboy from a southern part of state, and I wake up with the sun and the wind on my face. My lady lost the love, well, I found the hate. I'm a lone old cowboy from a southern part of state. I'm a hard-working man who's at his wit's end. There's a truck in the drive that belongs to another man. Well, I've got a 45, my finger on the...
Okay, so as a subcontractor, I run into this question a lot, like can a homeowner just build their house themselves and not use a general contractor? It's better if you hire a general contractor because they're more, for one, they know what they're doing, and then two, they have the time to come out here. You know, you gotta come out here every day and check the job site, check on the subs, because the subs, you know, Jason may not make a mistake, but he might misinterpret what you told him, or maybe the plan had something a little bit different than what you really wanted, because there's a lot of stuff you have to change on the fly that either the architect didn't think of, or maybe the city made a change and it didn't get communicated to everybody. And so somebody has to be there on site to make sure that all the changes are done correctly, and then they can think through the process of how that affects other people, all the other trades down the line. So, you know, if I wanted to make this little bump out go an extra 4 feet out, how is that going to affect? As a homeowner, I can say, well, I'll just make it 4 feet bigger. Well, but I've already got a floor truss ordered, so that means I got to put an extra beam in, or I got to frame a wall, and so it just kind of adds to the other trades as well. So instead of putting a footer across here and laying block, I'm going to put a beam up above to carry the weight versus doing it down low. So you got to think all that stuff through ahead of time, and it's better to have somebody on site that can do it. So a lot of homeowners think that they can just do it themselves, but then they get into it and they realize that they don't have time to take the phone calls, because every time you miss a phone call from a sub, it costs them money. You know, if they're standing there, they have guys that they're paying by the hour, and they need an answer to a question now, and you're in a meeting because your regular job has got you somewhere else, then you're not able to take care of those guys the way they should be taken care of. And so a lot of times what homeowners run into is a subcontractor will charge more to a homeowner than they would a general contractor, and the reason is because they know that they're basically going to have to be the general contractor themselves while on site. They're going to be the ones out here making the decisions, right or wrong, and they're going to be the ones talking to the other subs, trying to figure things out while you're not there. And so generally a homeowner think that they're saving money, but in the long run they're not going to. That might save a little bit, but they're not really going to save a whole lot, because most subs are going to charge more because they have to put that management fee in their estimate as well. So that's something to think about whenever you're wanting to do your own. If you want to do your own, that's fine. Just know that you got to commit a lot of time to it. You got to be out there every day. You got to be available by phone. You got to be able to have on-site meetings with the subs. And so it takes a lot of time. And just being the homeowner, you're going to be required to be available to answer questions, even from the GC, because they're going to have questions. So that's some things to think about if you're wanting to do it yourself. So you can do it yourself. It's a good learning experience. It's fun. It can also be very stressful, but there's going to be a lot you have to do that you're not going to think of. Even as a subcontractor, as a framer, even though I think I have everything figured out, I'm still out here. I'm having to be out here quite a bit just to make sure things are done just the way I want them done. Not that the guys are going to mess up, but they may do it a different way than how I had it planned. So that's just something to think about.
Well, I'm a lone old cowboy from a southern part of state, and I wake up with the sun and the wind on my face. My lady lost the love, well, I found the hate.